There is so much new information that is going on in the world of Gypsy Rose Blanchard that I'm not even going to waste any of your time today. We're going to go ahead and just hop right into it.
I wasn't born evil. I wasn't born a murderer. My circumstances took me there.
I'm going to play this video for you right at the beginning. I'm not going to waste your time because I have so much to say about this. There is a video that has resurfaced where Gypsy Rose Blanchard called the police to show up at Ryan Anderson's house, her ex-husband, to get some of her belongings. I have so much to say about this, and I know that you all are going to as well, but I want you guys to take note of the fact that when he answered the door, he was like, I thought we were going to go through our lawyers to do this. Why are the cops here? Here's the video in full.
He's probably out in bed.
How you doing? Hey, you're gonna work on that with the lawyers, don't you remember? Why don't you call the cops?
It's just for I just want to get my pictures.
Okay, I'll get you the pictures.
Okay.
I don't want to run though.
Do you want me to wait out here?
Well, that was nice. There's more than that.
Jay, can you grab that for me? It's kind of heavy. Might need some bigger.
That boy got it.
A small 15-year-old. He doesn't look like he's 15, does he?
No, you don't.
Oh, you want me to give you my key?
Yeah, sure.
I think you just turned 15.
Oh my.
Yeah, like you just turned 15. Yeah. I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Yeah. Amazon.
Great one, think I like.
Yep. Always did. She's got to get it off the porch, of the outside the little storage area. That's why he's taking it. He's probably more pissed off than I'm here. Well, I'm not saying that. I say pigs.
It's gotten big.
I know. She's so cute.
The numbing is starting to wear off a little bit.
Well, yeah. How many
Walk
shots?
in.
How many shots they gave me?
They kept coming back for more. So I'm gonna numb you right here, I'm gonna numb you right there. I'm like, I can't feel my jaw.
But at least you'll have some new pretty teeth. I know you don't think that's all you get because you have a lot more. Your picture.
Are you gonna? You know I got more stuff.
I forgot my phone in the car.
Yeah. I like Kindle. You need to get the rest of the
You gonna get my dresses and my stuff that's in my closet?
Nope. Just the pictures.
No, you have no right to get your stuff.
Please don't.
You get everything else through your lawyer.
Cool. Alright, that's the meeting.
Now, one thing I noticed was that when Gypsy Rose originally left Ryan, she was kind of trying to paint this picture that she didn't really trust him and that perhaps he was dangerous. She never said that, but her actions really alluded to that. The fact that whenever she left Ryan in the beginning, she couldn't face him and say, hey, you know, it's not going to work out. I'm going to leave. She had to do it when he wasn't home and then have Christy help her leave. And not only that, he brought the cameras into his house to have them film her leaving.
Man, I leave the place
for a little bit, go sit.
That's what I just said.
And then go make sure that he's been feeding her and stuff. Okay, she's got food, she's got water. Alright, other than that, I think that's it.
So she did that, which sends this message that you don't feel safe with somebody. But in this very dramatic plot twist, she had to also involve the police to show up at Ryan's house in order to get a tote full of pictures, as if this is an extremely important thing that you needed to get right in this moment. And I can't exactly make out what
Morgan.
he says word for
It's me,
word,
Ryan.
but it
And of
sounds
course,
like he
there's
says
Miss Pixie.
something about the
Say hey,
lawyers,
Pixie
and I'm
to
wondering
Morgan.
if it's him saying something like,
Oh,
why
Pixie's
aren't we
tired.
going through our lawyers to
doesn't
do
wanna
this? Like,
talk,
why are the
so-
cops here? She has Christy there with her, like she's her guard dog. And Christy also makes this comment in this video too, like he's probably laying in bed, as if she's not standing by Gypsy Rose, who literally doesn't do anything. One of the things I wanted to mention is that her show has now ended, and one of the shots in the show that a lot of people have been pointing out is that there's this piece of paper on the wall with a set of rules for her daughter Aurora on it. There are things on here that says stuff like change diapers as needed, and it's like, why do you have a piece of paper on your wall telling you to change your child's diaper? Like, shouldn't you just know to do that without having to write it down? Like, who are these rules for? I mean, Ken even called her out in one of the episodes for falling asleep with Aurora on her chest. I'm just really curious what the people who used to support Gypsy Rose are thinking now with some of these actions that she's taken. Now, this is just alleged. I don't know that this is true, but from what I'm hearing is that she got kicked off the TikTok Creator Fund. I'm not entirely sure if this is fact. I'm sure that some of you may know more than I do, but I can't help but wonder if she got kicked off because she posted her child's poop on a video on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure that you can't do that. That's pretty gross, first of all. Second of all, nobody wants to see that scrolling through their feed. I feel like that has to be breaking some sort of TikTok rule. But it's interesting that this happens, and then she turns around and she makes a family channel on YouTube. This channel is called Gypsy Rose and Ken Magic in the Chaos, and she has already uploaded several videos. From the very beginning of Aurora's life, she was filming things. There are videos of her filming postpartum stuff, and also she was filming Aurora when she was a newborn. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is that Gypsy Rose did an interview in the beginning where she said she was not going to exploit her daughter and she was not going to be making content off of her. I have even seen TikTok lives that Gypsy has done after Aurora was here saying, I'm not going to be a family channel.
I specifically said in my GMA interview, once she is born, didn't nobody hear that? Once she is born, we will not post her on social media. At night, and I had my me time for the day. I even had time to color my hair. Too expensive to get it done professionally, so I just ordered some box dye.
Well, now she has her very own family channel where she is in fact doing just that. This entire video right here is just her sitting there filming herself bassinet training Aurora. It's like from the very beginning she knew she was going to do this, even though she was telling everybody she wasn't, yet she was filming everything the entire time. Videos like this saying night shift mom, and it's just like, I really don't understand why anybody believes anything she says, because she has got herself wrapped up in so many lies that I feel like you have to be a little bit crazy to believe anything that comes out of her mouth at this point. Like, Gypsy was filming a lot of family vlogs while getting on her live saying that she wasn't going to be a family vlogger. And if you're going to be one, that's totally fine. Like, say, hey, I'm going to be a family vlogger now. That's what I'm moving towards. But don't tell people, no, that's not what I'm going to be doing. I also can't really understand telling people that you're not going to be filming your daughter and taking pictures of her when you do that repeatedly. You know, whenever I had my son, I said that I wasn't going to be posting his face online. And so sometimes there are videos where you can see him, you just don't ever see his face. That's completely separate than what she's doing, because she has said, I'm not going to film Aurora. I'm not going to post pictures of her. But she does that all the time. The reason why I think this is concerning to a lot of people is because Dee Dee took advantage of Gypsy Rose Blanchard in the past and also profited off of her. And now Gypsy is doing the same thing with her daughter. She's profiting off of her on the internet. And it's just interesting to me that when I'm hearing these rumors that she got kicked off the TikTok creator fund, suddenly all of these videos are coming out. Now that she needs money and she's getting in lives telling people, I only have $50. Now that she needs money, she's perfectly fine exploiting her daughter to make some money, which is exactly what her mom did, right? And going back to this video where she called the police on Ryan, I've heard a lot of people mention this fact, and I just want to add this here because I feel as though it's very important to mention, is that it's interesting that whenever she was in the situation with her mom, she couldn't call the cops, right? She felt like she wasn't in a position to do that, but she's calling the cops on Ryan for stupid stuff like getting a tote full of pictures, when we all know that Ryan would eventually give that to her. And if he didn't eventually give that to her, they could totally go through the courts in order to get it. Like, you didn't need to take these police officers from their, very important tasks that some of them are doing. Like, there's serious stuff that they need to be taken care of. You didn't need to pull them from that to take them to Ryan's house to get some pictures that you probably didn't even open and go through. And honestly, I'm living for the fact that he slammed the door whenever she wanted her clothes, because I feel like after all the things that she did to him, you would have to be fuming in this situation. But can you imagine that you're not only left by somebody in a horrific way where they just up and leave you, so you're probably traumatized from it because it threw you for a loop, you weren't expecting it. Not only did that happen, but then she's showing up at your house on a random Tuesday. I don't know that it was a Tuesday, I'm just saying that, with the police to get pictures from you. The fact that he ever gave her the time of day after this entire situation just blows my mind. I just think at the end of the day, the entire situation is really sad because Gypsy herself even says that Ryan didn't do anything. He was just a rebound that she was using, that she was never in love with, even though she's been the one that's going and talking to him behind Ken's back this entire time, but that's besides the point. He didn't even do anything to her. If anything, he did things for her when nobody else was there to help her with things. Ryan was there. When nobody else was there to talk to, Ryan was there. And not only did she leave him and go and get pregnant right after she did that, but then she does things like this, where she talks about him online, shares his text messages behind his back to make him look bad, even though she was doing even worse than that. She also brings cops to his house to get a tote full of pictures. Like, I'm sorry, Gypsy Rose is just an awful person. I also found this video of Ryan where he was doing a cameo for someone, and I just have to add that right here.
She wanted me to roast Gypsy, but Gypsy roast herself. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say anything bad about Gypsy. She does enough damage on her own. Just play it.
Listen, I think Ryan has his own things for sure, and I went over those in past videos, but I would just like to say I love that he will say things as fact about Gypsy and then throw in a little I'm just joking, because honestly, this is tea.
You think I forgot about that? I haven't. Yesterday, Ryan and I had a conversation on the phone for the first time in 6 months. It went really well. It really was civil. The way we bantered, it really felt like a friendship. Of course, we talked business. I feel like your lawyer and you are holding this whole situation up. We agreed to meet each other at the same place at the same time, and it just be me, him, and Aurora. And we can take the test, we could talk. Ken was at work last night, but I did text him. I told him everything that was communicated.
She called you. What was the conversation? She didn't call me about anything. She texted me and just told me, hey, we're doing another paternity test. We don't know when, but it's going to happen sometime this week or next. And then Ryan's going to be driving down to do a paternity test because he can't accept the one that we've already done. This is all I just heard about this last night. Like, I don't even know the full story yet. I don't think I'm going to let that happen. It's just the fact that, like, we're dragging Aurora through the mud on this when she doesn't need to be. You know, you go do what you need to do, but you're not bringing my daughter in this mess. Aurora's not going to be there.
I had plans to go with Aurora and meet with Ryan at a lab where we could all give our results, but Ken had high reservations against it and gave me an ultimatum that if I was going to meet with Ryan, that our relationship would be in jeopardy. I think in the moment, high emotions took hold, and he said some things that he regrets, saying he would move back to Texas and file for custody of Aurora. That really put me in a corner. I wasn't going to risk losing my family just to, meet with Ryan face to face whenever there could be other ways of giving our samples. I would have liked to have a moment to ourselves to where we could have had this sort of closure moment. I would have liked to see him again. Still kind of feel like the way things ended, there's no way to kind of make it better.
I know that I don't look like the most compassionate person in this situation, and I totally am very self-aware of that.
Now, I have got to mention the bruising on Gypsy Rose that people have been bringing up from one of the last episodes of her show Life After Lockup, because as we know, Ken got really upset at Gypsy when she had a final call with Ryan. This is where Ken told Gypsy, if you meet up with Ryan, I'm going to fly back to Texas and file for custody of Aurora. But one thing that I find to be very disturbing in this episode is that this is the first time that we have seen bruises on Gypsy throughout the show. Now, I would like to say this before I get into it. This is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I am not saying that anyone is the cause behind these bruises. I'm just pointing them out. Lifetime is very clearly filming her from these angles, showing the bruises. They show the bruises on her arm.
Yesterday, Ryan and I had a conversation on the phone for the first time in 6 months.
And they also show the bruises on her cheek.
Hold up. Do you guys see this? Hold up.
This is where we're at with it. Ken doesn't feel comfortable, and he has that right, seeing as how he is her father.
I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to leave it here, and you can all let me know what you think about it down below, but I do find it to be a bit disturbing. Now, we have all of these posts amidst her saying she's going to take a 30-day break from social media. Suddenly, she comes back from that a few days later with all of these posts about Ken being the best father ever, and now she has a family channel with Ken, but before that episode aired, she was not going to be on social media for 30 days. Part of me is wondering if she said she wasn't going to come back to social media because she wanted to see what people were going to say about the final episode first. I don't know, guys. I don't want to touch this because I don't want to get sued, but I definitely find it a little bit concerning that there's all this bruising that Lifetime is so very clearly filming. It's obvious that they're filming this.
I'm going back home today, and I won't see Ken for a while again.
How's that been?
Rough. Everything is day by day right now. It's hard to kind of keep up a relationship whenever you're living in two separate places. You've got schedules that interfere, and I think I'm very clear about what my needs are. I want cuddles, I want snuggles, I want words of affirmation. For Ken, it's like he doesn't think about anything like that. You might feel love. Yeah, you love me. Okay, you say you love me, but you don't show it. Feel like more distant than ever. He thought everything was going great. But then when you get down like the nitty gritty, it's kind of like, okay, stop fooling yourself. Is it gone for you? He's like the spark, the flame, the energy, you know what I'm saying? So we need to have more communication, and I think that like we both just need to like open up more about realistic expectations of each other.
Maybe this is just a weird angle and it just appears to be something that it is not. You all are going to have to let me know what you think in the comments down below about that. And the very last thing I wanted to show is that I think that they got caught with a little bit of a slip up in this moment, and this is one of the times where it's making me wonder if Lifetime is purposefully showing these things for us to read between the cracks. Ken goes to give Gypsy Rose a kiss before he leaves for work, and he asks her if she can be there that night whenever he gets home. I guess forgetting that maybe she has an audio pack on. I'm not entirely sure, but that's when she proceeds to say that she's going to be in cutoff, and then there's this long pause, and he says something that he didn't actually say to try and make it sound like that's what he meant, but that's not what he said at all. You all are going to have to let me know what you think about this one too.
You can't wait for me to get home tonight. No, I'm saying that you can't wait here for me.
The reason why this is a big deal is because she is not supposed to stay there but a certain amount of time. Otherwise, she is breaking probation. And there have been some speculation going online that she's broken the probation because she posted so many videos of her clearly in Ken's home while she was still under probation. That's it for today's video. There's definitely been a lot to talk about. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and give it a thumbs up if you would like to see more like this. And I will see you soon for another video.